Howdy folks, and welcome back to Red Dead Redemption 2, where we've just received word that Hosea Matthews could use our help with a little problem over by Emerald Ranch. Now, we have no idea what the nature of the problem is, but we're going to find out once we get there. And since it's Hosea Matthews, and he's one of the good guys, you should definitely take every opportunity to help him out wherever you can.
Whoa, easy. That's an interesting way of putting it, Seamus.
No doubt. I do interesting very well. It's trusting I don't do so well.
Please. I know how to work with good people, Seamus, and I work in the right way.
Well, they all say that. I never met an idiot that called himself one.
Arthur, this is Seamus. He's our new partner.
I ain't no such thing.
Prospective new partner, if he likes us.
Liking ain't the problem. Trusting is. As I said, keep your voices down. I don't want my boss hearing. This is a sideline.
Of course. Look at us. Honest as the day is long.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. Let us prove ourselves.
Prove ourselves? To this clown? What you talking about?
Good day, Hosea. Good luck with your business dealings.
Listen, he's rough and ready and quick with his tongue, but I swear you can trust him and trust me.
I'm an old man.
You're not old, Seamus.
I'm old enough. And you know I ain't dead.
You don't trust idiots.
Exactly.
We're not idiots. Let us prove it to you.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
Arthur.
Old Bob Crawford and his boys just bought a beautiful stolen stagecoach from upstate. It's in their barn. Now, you go get that, and then we can work together.
Who's old Bob Crawford?
An acquaintance of mine.
So you want us to take out your competition?
Well, he's not just an acquaintance, but a cousin. By marriage. I also want to see if you boys got what it takes. Now, you survive that.
Where is he?
Well, he's in a farmhouse just northwest of here called Carmody-Dell. It's just up the train tracks as you're heading up towards Fort Wallace. There's also some money in that house, but that's your business, not mine. But don't kill nobody. Folks know we ain't intimate no more, and they'll know it was me.
But you're fine with us robbing your cousin.
By marriage. And yes, I'd love it.
You heard the man. Let's go rob his cousin.
By marriage.
This is actually one of your most important early quests in the game, because Seamus is a fence, and without access to a fence you're going to find it very difficult to move stolen goods.
Really?
Really. Lead the way. He said the place is just northwest of here.
Me?
You're the one who's been out gallivanting around here.
That's what you call it. Oh, clearly you've recovered from your bear encounter.
Well, you can actually sell smaller items of stolen goods at a general store, but you won't get very good price for them. If you want decent money for your stolen goods, and if you want to shift larger items of stolen goods like horses and wagons, you're going to need access to a fence.
Could have played that better, couldn't you?
Thought you wanted me here to show some strong arm. That's usually how it goes.
Yes, but you know how this works.
Come on, Hosea. That feller's a joke.
And that's why he's perfect. He won't cause us any problems. A safe spot to fence wagons and coaches, that's easy money for us.
I guess you're right.
Come on, it's not like he's asking us to rob a bank. If the two of us can't steal a stagecoach from Seamus's old crooked cousin by marriage, we should hang up our hats now. That must be the place up ahead. We should go on foot from here. Let's see what we're dealing with. Come on.
Now, whereas Arthur is more of a gunslinger, Hosea is a thief and a con man, and along with Dutch himself is the oldest member of the gang.
There's the house. I see the barn in the back. Stagecoach has to be in there.
Yep, I see it. I also see the smoke coming from the chimney in the main house, which means somebody's home. I'm not too sure about doing this in broad daylight.
Okay, let's take a quick look at the place.
Anyone around?
Yes. Okay. I reckon we can do it now. I'll head over, distract him by putting on a little show while you sneak into the house, find what you can, then get the stagecoach. Or wait until nightfall. Sneak in, then I'll get the coach. You can try the house. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do this at night when they're all in bed. Much easier to rob the house then.
Just wait.
I don't much fancy the idea of robbing the house while everybody in it is still stumping around in the kitchen cooking their dinner. It's much safer to do it at night when they're all in bed.
Okay, let's go.
Sure.
You go into the house. I'll go find this wagon.
Seamus, the fence at Emerald Ranch, he only cares about the wagon. Anything that we find in the house, that's all ours.
Maybe take a peek through the windows before you go in. Make sure it's all quiet.
Another good reason to do this at night rather than during the day, not only, actually there are two good reasons. First and foremost, they're all going to be asleep, so providing you don't wake them up, there's far less chance that you're going to get involved in a gunfight that's going to end up being fatal for somebody. But Seamus doesn't want you to kill anybody here. He doesn't like his cousin, and he's quite happy to see him robbed, but he doesn't want him killed, because that could end up coming back to him. And we need to keep Seamus happy because he's going to be buying all of our stolen goods in the future. Most of which, or at least initially, are going to be coming from the contents of his cousin's house. Anything that we find in there, that's for us. Of course, we're probably going to end up selling anything that we find in here to Seamus, but we're far more likely to find valuable stuff in the house while everybody's asleep. As long as we don't wake them up. You can imagine how hard this would be if this was during the day and people were up and about. Although I'm reasonably sure that right now everyone's asleep. Not seeing any signs of activity on the ground floor. Oh, there's somebody in here. Gotta be careful. Don't want to wake him. Hopefully he's a heavy sleeper. For this mission to be a success, we have to rob the house of goods totaling at least $45. There is actually way more than $45 worth of stuff in this house. You just have to find it. There's a gold pocket watch, that'll do for a start. That's worth a few bucks. Even if I do wake somebody up, doesn't necessarily mean I have to kill them. You can always knock them out. Although the sound of a scuffle is probably going to wake up everybody else in the house, so if you wake one person up, you're probably going to have to deal with everybody. A pearl necklace, that's worth a few bucks as well, we'll take that. We're getting there. There are a bunch of valuables scattered around, hidden in the desks, drawers and chests in this place, but the big payday is here in the kitchen. Check the chimney, because that's where they keep their cash, and it's a fairly substantial amount. We have to steal $45, we're up to $168. At this point, I can go and join Hosea outside, steal the wagon and get out of here. But I'm not quite done with pushing my luck. Let's see what's upstairs. There's Seamus's cousin, Bob Crawford. There's nothing really in here other than the chest at the foot of the bed, right next to this guy. It's possible that I might have been able to open that chest without waking him up, but we've done alright. We've got $168, well in excess of the $45 that we were supposed to get, so I don't want to take the chance. Let's quit while we're ahead. Hosea should have the wagon by now. Yep, there it is.
Get on, dear boy. Come on, get on and let's head back.
Job well done. Now we just have to return the stage to Seamus at Emerald Ranch, and we probably don't have to worry about the law here because Cousin Bob is unlikely to be reporting the theft, considering this is a stolen stage in the first place. Stealing from thieves is always the best option, but you can steal from pretty much anybody with relatively few consequences, providing nobody catches you in the act or sees you doing it. And this mission kind of serves as your introduction to the whole process of house robberies in the game. From this point on, you would do well to pay attention to what people are saying around you. If you hang around in saloons, for example, you may overhear tips and leads from the people around you, which will lead you to a particularly lucrative house, just sitting there waiting to be robbed. Other members of the gang back in the camp may have also overheard tips leading to particularly lucrative houses just sitting around waiting to be robbed. They'll be more than happy to pass on to you for a share of the profits.
Nicely done. We got everything we needed.
And I'm pretty sure they never even knew I was there.
Best way. Less problems the better right now. Just need to get this back to Seamus in one piece and it's a good night's work. So what were you able to lift from the house?
Found some money stashed away. Must be a few hundred, not too bad.
Not bad at all.
This was easier than hunting a 1,000-pound grizzly anyway.
No doubt. I won't forget that in a hurry.
I'm looking forward to your retelling of that one around the campfire.
It wasn't the first time Mr. Matthews had stared death in the eye. And as usual, he did not flinch.
Yeah, exactly. How long you think we're gonna stick around here for?
Not sure. Till we can't, I suppose. Feels like we're starting to get back on our feet, slowly but surely. Just need to keep at it. Dutch has a new money chest stashed in a safe spot away from camp, but it's a long way from being full.
I hope it's not stashed in town like we did in Blackwater. Even if we had to dump the money from the ferry, we could have at least got the rest out if it was hidden someplace else.
No, I think we've learned our lesson there. And a few other lessons besides.
I hope so, but I ain't so sure about that.
So, here's something strange. Seamus was telling me how he also makes these little trinkets for people from animal claws, teeth, and such like. Good luck charms.
What, like a rabbit's foot?
I suppose, but he was claiming they really do work.
Don't they all?
Oh, ye of little faith.
And that's something else that fencers are good for. When you're out in the world hunting your legendary animals, something that I covered in the last episode, you can recover teeth and claws which fencers will turn into talismans for you, which boost, amongst other things, your rate of experience gain.
Okay, here we are. Just pull the coach into the barn there.
Also, if you pay attention while you're just wandering around the world, for random encounters you can, for example, come across an escaped member of a chain gang, and if you help relieve him of his chains, we'll be entirely happy to pass on any tips for good robberies that he's learned.
Hello, Seamus. We met your cousins.
How was it?
Fine. Nice people.
Park that thing in here. Quickly. Nice work, Hosea.
It was mostly Arthur. Like I said, coarse but competent.
Here.
Thank you.
Find any other coaches that need selling. I'll see what I can offer you for them. But discreet, you know.
Of course.
Goodbye, gentlemen.
I'm heading back to camp, I think. You coming?
Sure.
So, not bad for a night's work. A couple of $100. In fact, this is our best haul since arriving here in the Heartlands after being forced to run from Blackwater after the job there went so badly wrong. And it wasn't just all of our money that we left behind in Blackwater. More than a few members of the gang didn't make it out either. Some of them killed, but one of them, Sean, was taken alive. He's been held prisoner in the town of Blackwater. Now, we've just received word from one of the con men who occasionally finds information for the gang by the name of Josiah Trelawney, that Sean is being moved upstate to be hanged. And this is going to give us an opportunity to spring him. The problem is that once I cross this river into the county of West Elizabeth, where the town of Blackwater is, I'm kind of wanted dead or alive in this county. So unless I want to get involved in a gunfight, I'm going to have to be ultra careful to avoid any random encounters along the road while I'm here in West Elizabeth, which basically means I need to stay away from the roads completely. Luckily, as far as off-road vehicles are concerned, even to this day, you can still not do much better than a horse. Also, on the bright side, I'm not down here alone. Trying to spring Sean single-handed would be suicidal. A couple of the boys have been down here for a few days now, checking out the lay of the land, and I'm about to meet them up ahead. Charles Smith we've already met, but we're about to meet, properly for the first time, Javier Escuela as well.
How many?
A lot. Uniforms everywhere.
You see Sean?
No, I don't think so.
Damn it.
Where's Trelawney?
Who knows?
Hey,
Just...
where's that little Irish bastard?
I'm not quite sure. Trelawney's off trying to find out.
Has anyone been in the Blackwater, see how things lie?
Place is crawling with Pinkertons, bounty hunters, pictures of Dutch and Hosea.
Well, we got a lot of money sitting in that town.
And that's where it's gonna remain for now.
Why haven't they hanged Sean, I wonder?
I think he's bait. Well, they want to trial him publicly.
Gentlemen, Sean is being moved up the upper Montana, then to a federal prison out west.
Damn. Well, we can't be rescuing people from some federal prison. We either rescue him now or cut him loose.
We're not cutting anyone loose.
Of course not.
Ike Skelding's boys are moving him to a camp nearby before handing him over to the government.
So, I guess we need to stop them before they get to camp. Charles, why don't you head up on the north side, and then we'll head up on the other side of the valley and meet you. That way we have them in either direction. Javier, Josiah, come on. Let's go see.
You know, Arthur, the government, or people whom the government like, seem to be very angry.
Sure. Well, we'll rescue Sean, and then we'll get ourselves lost, good and proper. It's a big country.
I hope so.
We haven't really talked much about the Pinkerton Detective Agency yet, have we? I mean, we've heard them mentioned a couple of times. We know that they're after us, but we don't really know what they are yet. The Pinkertons were, what as the name would suggest, a private detective agency. But at this time, 1899, they'd grown so big that they were effectively, if not officially, a federal law enforcement agency.
Let's head upriver and find this boat.
Keep your eyes open for Pinkertons. They got patrols out all over this area.
Yes, south of the river, West Elizabeth isn't a very welcoming place right now.
It's definitely as bad as we feared in there, Arthur.
I keep hearing about this woman, Heidi McCourt. Some young mother, they're saying, Dutch murdered on the boat.
I don't know about that. I wasn't there. Bad day.
And no money yet, it seems. I hope you know where that is, at least. Let's stay up top, Arthur.
The Pinkerton Detective Agency had its fingers in lots and lots of different pies, not just private detection and law enforcement, but also union infiltration, strike breaking, even presidential security.
Dutch and Hosea say they do, but it's trapped in the town.
Oh, it must be wonderful to have such trust in one's parents. Mine would have sold me for a hogshead of ale. In fact, I think they tried.
When I say that the Pinkertons were effectively, if not officially, a federal law enforcement agency, I'm not exaggerating. In 1871, the United States Congress appropriated $50,000 for the Department of Justice to form a federal agency specifically dedicated to investigating federal crimes. But rather than do this, the Department of Justice simply contracted out the services of the Pinkerton Detective Agency.
There, look, I think that's our boat. All right, gentlemen, follow me. Keep your guns away until we know it's Sean, okay? I know what you two are like.
You think they can see us?
If they can, we're just three fellas out on the trail. Act natural. We'll be fine.
So, you've been gone for a while.
Much as I love dodging the law and sleeping in the dirt with you derelicts, I do have other business to attend to.
What happened in New York?
You know how life is. Never a straight road anywhere.
Especially with you.
Nice to know I'm missed, though. Have you run out of people to rob?
Oh, we'll never run out of people to rob.
But without me, you'll not find the caliber of victim that I find.
Maybe. Anyway, we should keep it down.
Come on, let's keep them in sight.
You all right, Javier? You're quiet.
He hasn't stopped talking since we left you in Valentine. It's the longest ride of my life.
Cute, dear boy. Very cute. Pick up the pace a bit.
Apparently, there's a camp somewhere around here where the bounty hunters meet and transfer before continuing out west. I imagine that's where they're headed.
So just to get back to the topic of the Pinkertons while we're catching up with the boat. 1871, Congress gave the Department of Justice $50,000 to form a new federal agency tasked with investigating and prosecuting federal crimes. In effect, Congress was asking the Department of Justice to form a federal Bureau of Investigation. Rather than do that, as it turned out that $50,000 at the time wouldn't have quite been enough, so instead the Department of Justice used that money to pay a private security organisation to perform the duties and functions of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. That's how powerful the Pinkertons were at one point.
They've stopped. Get your binoculars out. Let's see what we're dealing with here.
So who are these bounty hunters? I don't know too much about Ike Skelton's boys, but I hear they're a big crew, wild, built some reputation in the last year or two.
That looks like Sean to me.
Certainly kicking up enough of a fuss. Yep, that's definitely Sean.
Oh, they're giving him a decent kicking.
Well, you can only imagine the shit he's been giving them.
Oh, yes.
They're taking him up the canyon.
There's Charles on the other side. Let's go.
What about the other two down there?
I've got an idea. Follow me.
We should do this quietly if we can.
Leave it to me, gentlemen. I'll go around and create a distraction. Then you two sneak across and do the dirty on them.
Okay.
Quietly, huh? Oh, not the bow?
Keep your head down.
This is going to be a knife kill. Okay, Javier.
Okay, let's move down. Don't cross until he's got their attention.
Move up a bit closer to Javier so we can actually hear what he's saying properly. And we need to follow him now anyway. Alright, let's wait for Trelawney to work his magic.
Dear brothers, my wife is taken ill. Gravely ill.
What's the problem?
It's dear Bessie.
You take the one on the left.
Where is she?
Okay, come on. Stay low.
I'm beside myself. If I lose Bessie,
Slowly does it.
Oh, calm down, mister.
I
Can't afford to make any noise at this point.
having a fit.
Javier is going to go on my lead. Gotcha. Oh. Weapons expert challenge. 1 of 3 knife kills.
Come on, let's get up there.
A pleasure as always, gentlemen. I think you have it from here.
Yeah, Trelawney has his uses, but fighting isn't one of them.
Come on. We got two halfway up the canyon to deal with.
In retrospect, I think we were supposed to sneak up on these two and knife them from behind. What I tried to do was perform a stealth kill using the bow. Now, this was always going to go wrong because Javier doesn't have a bow, he only has a knife, so he was going to have to start shooting, which was going to give the game away. And they heard me coming anyway. I mean, I'm about to line up for a bow shot, but no, they've seen us and they've started shooting. So how we were supposed to sneak up on these two and knife them, I don't know. Maybe the game thought, oh, he's got a bow in his hand. Haha, we saw you coming. Whatever. Anyway, we're now in a gunfight, so I should probably switch to a gun. And I don't know if you noticed, but none of my arrows were actually hitting that guy. One arrow shot should be enough to take a guy down, but all 3 of the arrows that I fired were actually hitting the rock in front of me, so that was a bit slack. But anyway, we're in a gunfight, so, you know, let's shoot. I'm using the Mauser C96, the infamous broom-handle Mauser, upon which Han Solo's DL44 blaster pistol was modelled, fact fans. It's a semi-automatic pistol, not a revolver. Revolvers do more damage with each shot, but with a semi-automatic pistol you have a higher ammunition capacity. They tend to be a bit more accurate, you can fire them faster, and you can also reload them a lot faster. Most of the revolvers in this game are single-action revolvers. They have to be cocked each time you want to fire them. Although there are double-action revolvers available, just not until later on in the game. Oh, getting shot at by somebody on the ridge. It would have probably been better to switch to the carbine repeater to deal with the guy on the ridge, because at that kind of range you can't snap to a target with a pistol. It just doesn't have the range for it. You can still hit somebody at that range, but you have to aim manually. Then again, the guy was so far away that I probably wouldn't have even had the range to snap to the target with a carbine repeater, so maybe sticking to the pistol was the best option. Javier's still getting shot at by somebody. Charles is moving in up there. Oh, there's another one. Charles is in trouble. Killed the guy that Charles was fighting. I'll finish this fella off. Okay, he's dead. Right, let's get up there. They've still got Sean.
I'll take the left side, Charles. You go right, okay?
I guess.
I guess that leaves the middle for me. This is the bounty hunters' camp. They've actually got Sean strung up at the back there.
Goddamn army of these bastards. How much is Sean's bounty?
Turns out I'm not actually that much better with a carbine repeater than I was with the pistol. Again, in my defence, I must hasten to add that the gameplay footage that you're seeing here is actually occurring very, very early on in the game still. And I wasn't really kind of quite used. Oh, there's a guy in the water tower. Ah, got him. I'm getting the hang of it. It's actually quite intuitive once you get used to the idea of using the left trigger to snap to the target, assuming that they're in range, and you're pointed in roughly the right direction, and then the right trigger to actually fire. And there is something of a delay, because first you have to cock the weapon and then fire it, so you don't fire the second you hit the trigger. There is a very, very small delay, and in that time an enemy can move and you'll miss the shot. So there is a small element of target prediction going on here. It's not just a case of point and shoot unless the target's standing still and running straight towards you. And if you want to make the most of your ammunition, what you really should be doing is snapping to the target and then just nosing up on the aim, so that you take it with headshots rather than centre of mass body shots, which can take 2 or 3 bullets to put them down, assuming you hit them square in the centre of the body. Because individual weapon accuracy is also a factor. The bullets don't always go exactly where you aim them, and I think that was the last one. Yep, we're good. Wasn't the last one, but any survivors are now hightailing it out of here. Right, let's get Sean untied and get the hell out of here before more bounty hunters, or even worse, Pinkertons, show up.
Arthur! You know, you're a lot less ugly from that other angle, Arthur.
Come on.
Do I get a hug, Arthur? A warm embrace for a lost brother now found.
You know, nothing means more to me than this gang. The bond we share. It's the most real thing to me. I would kill for it, I would happily die for it. But in spite of all of that, I would have easily left you here to rot if Charles hadn't stopped me.
I don't believe a word of that, Arthur.
Get him out of here.
You're a great man, Arthur Morgan. The kind of young whippersnapper can really admire.
Oh, shut up. Right, we should split up. Javier, will you escort Mr. McGuire back to camp? Charles, best you ride separately. Be careful. There's patrols everywhere.
What about you?
I'm gonna see what's worth taking here. I'll meet you back there as soon as I can.
All right. Okay, come on.
Have I got stories for you?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I imagine y'all missed me a lot, but fear not, the joy's back in your lives now.
Oh, he's Irish, all right. Sean's actually a great character. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's an annoying pain in the arse, and he will not shut up. But his heart's in the right place. He's one of the good ones. So, the gang are all back together, at least those who survived the Blackwater job. And if you ask me, that's a damn good excuse for a party.
Hey, listen. I just wanted to say, I know you bastards missed me. Even you, Arthur. Even you.
Arthur! Oh, Arthur!
You seem in a good mood.
I am, son.
Everything's going to be okay.
Let's have some fun.
Uncle Sean
Tonight.
is back.
Let's enjoy
And
ourselves.
don't you worry, Mr.
We having a
Grimshaw,
party?
you're prone.
Maybe.
I'll keep
Just a
them
little
girls
one.
in line. If
Great.
I have to whip 'em, I will.
Mr. McGuire is back.
And don't you worry, Mr. Pearson, you drunk old shitbag. It'll be nothing but the finest game in the pot. Now, Deadeye McGuire's back. And don't worry about nothing, Mrs. Grimshaw. We'll have this camp running like clockwork. I love you bastards. Have fun. Have lots of fun.
Now, without giving away too much in terms of spoilers, enjoy this while it lasts, because this is as good as it's ever going to get. From here on in, things are going to start taking a slight turn for the worse. All of that to come in future episodes. I hope you enjoyed this one, and as always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.
With a light, light heart I roam along.